So what a couple of days it has been. So I'm still getting back to a lot of feedback in Discord from H4 Mastery. It has been nothing short of amazing. The testing that is going on right now is just exceptional. So I'm just scrolling through quite a few things. Do you know what it is? Because people have built their trading on some really solid foundations as to how we teach, there are people that are implementing this almost straight away. And that is what I love. And I knew that would be the case. So I'm just going through, essentially my goal now for me and the coaches is to just essentially go through as many of these trades as possible and just say like, yes, no, yes, no. The quicker we get everybody up to speed, the faster they are on funding. Of course, they've got accelerated access to funding now, the people that just joined recently. So we want to get them doing well, making money as quick as possible, but in a sustainable way that they understand. We actually just had someone pass on the in-house fund as well. Oh, I think we just had someone else. Well done, Mike. I literally just saw that right now. So that is account pass, congratulations. Yeah, absolutely crushed it. And this, you know, Mike's not actually been in for that long, but really applied himself straight away, got involved, not shy, you know, really leveraged the community. But I just essentially announced someone earlier on, just become a portfolio asset manager. So I'm really pleased about that. And we had one the other day as well. So we're just having this on a regular basis, like funding is happening constantly. So shout out to Mike as well. So phase one done, perfect. This is what I mean, like it's just non-stop happening consistently where people are leveling up on funding, whether it is, you know, an FTMO or third-party fund or our in-house fund. It's such a blessing to see that. And I feel like something has shifted in the last couple of months where people's trading is just going through the roof, and this H4 content has just come out. So once they understand this fully, we're going to see a massive change in results. Now, I've got dedicated channels for this, so I just want to see some more. Yeah, so these guys are implementing this straight away. Let's have a look at this one. So we've got studying H4 Mastery, tracking the quarters. Perfect, let's have a look. So for Q1, what results have we got? So we've got Q1 7.5, Q2 38.9, beautiful. Q3 24.4, still 1 month left, and just over 70%, so 70.8. 19 trades, 14 wins, 3 break-evens, 2 losses. I'm not surprised this is not the first one. Do you know what? And this is really key to understand. I believe that if you're a trader and you go in with the mindset of how can I increase my strike rate? How can I increase my strike rate as much as possible out of greed or fear or whatever emotion it might be, different for everyone, I think you send yourself down a really slippery road where, yes, H4 Mastery has naturally increased strike rate, but it wasn't designed or tested in a way to achieve that. That's just happened by side effect, which is beautiful work. But I didn't do it because of that. And I love it when you get rewarded for doing something the right way where you haven't done it out of greed. And then people are starting to realize the accuracy, the skill, the precision, the consistency of it. It's just where you build solid foundations, especially when it comes to funding. It's almost impossible every single quarter for people to not progress. So that's what I expect. But I want to have a look at a few of these trades. Let's have a look at them. So let's see some testing, because I'm seeing interesting testing across the board. So pound Aussie, so we had the daily, H4, yeah, I remember this trade, nice. Yeah, this was a beautiful one. Again, in this one, I would say wasn't even straightforward. We had the original first entry, and then we came back up for the second entry, which is really nice. So great work. Then we had the break even. Yeah, I remember this one. Straight back in. So that would have been one of your first original entries. Then you would have been tagged out by that little spike on a different time frame. Oil. Do you know what I like about this as well? Is that the ability to trade H4 Mastery on any instrument. So NAS 100, US 30. S&P, like whatever instrument it is, precious metals, gold, silver, you're good. So if you look at this one on oil, this is like a Falcon Mechanics entry, 101, but using H4 Mastery. This is beautiful. So as you can see there, the gap between where the volume is, price washes those orders out. Then we've got the swing low at left. We've got target 1, target 2, beautiful work. Yeah, that's a lovely one. And then we've got, let's have a look at this euro dollar trade. So second continuation, larger structure, stop protected above the highs of the structure, that's fine. Target at the low, yep, lovely. Like, I'm not seeing any, what I'm actually looking out for, so you guys start to understand. I want to look for the obvious errors. I don't want perfection, because I can critique things after, but it's really important that if I if I start critiquing with perfection almost straight away, people will just not take trades, and they're looking for these like idealistic, perfect scenarios that are not always going to happen. So then they don't build the sample size of taking these trades. Now, I don't want people to take trades on just like funded accounts straight away, but what I do want is people to not have the fear of testing things, so we can go, look, these were rubbish, these were really good, do less of these, and this is the reason why you should do less of these. So that's what I'm trying to work with here. So this is a great start. So have a look at this on silver. Yeah, nice area. What you're going to start to find is that the accuracy of these positions, right? Because you've already got high time frame narrative, you've got clear and obvious gaps towards the lows. So when you start positioning yourself in these trades, like, there's a reason why the accuracy is so good, because price is naturally looking to fill those areas. So I'm not surprised. And there are a few ways that you can enter. So the beauty of this type of entry model is that you have two types. You have your typical way of doing it, and then you have your more advanced way of doing it, which involves more like Fibonacci, etc. So I'm not going to go into all those details now, but it just gives you more of that. How do I want to explain it? Essentially, so say you was looking for like a swing style method and you wanted to take a daily candle, but that daily candle was massive and you was thinking, I don't want to take that because it's a 200 pip stop or it's a 140 pip stop. Imagine that you was able to take that daily candle from the overall weight of the time frame, and you're looking from a swing high to a swing low, for example, or you're just playing a simple range. Imagine I could say you can achieve that, but you can also achieve a lower time frame stop loss. How would you do that? Well, there's a process, there's a formula to it. It's very methodical, and that's what's essentially happening here, which is why naturally when I talk about increase of strike rate, you kind of start to understand why. So imagine that. I want to look at a couple of losses in a second. Look at this loss. So this was Kiwi CAD, high time frame, still had the high time frame, expansion of price is pretty large though. So if you look at the overall sequence, you've got correction into one, follow through of momentum into that. I mean, it's one of those ones, on a different day, it still plays out. It's not horribly wrong, but I can understand why that's gone wrong, just because of the overall sequence. But again, like, that's an easy one to filter out from PSE model, right, which is in Falcon Mechanics, position, sequence, entry. Like, once you understand that, you would understand on a larger play of this, insurance entry would be a better play. See, this is a beautiful example. This is what you call a good loss. This is a beautiful loss. This is a loss I'll be happy with all day long. You guys know what it's like when you're taking those trades where you take it and it already starts to go into drawdown, and part of you realizes, I've rushed this, I shouldn't have gotten in the first place. I feared that the trade would go, or I had this itch where I just wanted to get involved in the trade regardless. You know those trades. This is not one of them. This is actually a stunning position. It had high time frame narrative. It had every room to go. It was just one of those ones. Stop protection was nice. There's nothing to critique here. Everything is there. It's just one of those ones. Like, you can do everything right in trading and still get stopped out. Like, that's just reality. So from what I'm seeing with these trades, he is on to a beautiful amount of work here. Quick look at these. What have we got here? So this one's a little bit, it's reaching. Yeah, so we've got the follow through here. We've got H4 in. Yeah, nice breaker structure, which is lovely. And then you've been tapped in there. So this is more of a higher time frame, play, but with a lower time frame noisy entry. But the high time frame still allows you to get in, and you'll find that as well. So that's what I like about it. I'm loving the overall response, right? Right, so I'm going to spend some more time, of course, going through all of those trades and just helping people get up to where they need to be as quick as possible. It is September, which is just crazy to even think that. So we've got hardly any time left until the end of the year. So essentially, one more month to crush it out of the park. Then we've got, 1st of October is on Tuesday. So on October the 1st, on the Tuesday, it's going to be the start of Q4. So you've literally got one last quarter of the year. So if I could give you any advice to all systems, all traders, just general life advice, naturally Q4 is more of a business end of the year. It's when people are a bit more aggressive. Just overall, that's just people's level of thinking. They have more urgency. They're more likely to make money and move forward and make bolder moves. So I would highly recommend getting some form of clarity as to what is the game plan for Q4. Write those things down. I've got a very clear game plan. I know what I'm doing all the way to the end of the year. And I think a lot of people that don't get results is just because they're just unclear. They don't have any clarity moving forward. So I'd be cracking on with that. We've got our Dubai Yacht Mastermind end of November into December. We've got our end of year event. I've not announced that yet. So we've got an end of year. We also have some internal things for Falcon that I've not announced yet, that I'm going to be announcing over the next 2 weeks. And just across the board, we need to make sure that we hit millions more in allocation. So August was a massive month for us. Another little tip I think this could be useful to you guys, and I mentioned this in some previous videos, I don't think it serves you to have this belief, and I see it going around. It's like last couple of years has been a bit more prominent, is that don't trade in August. And I've always found that strange because I've traded every single August for over a decade. And we just had a monthly live webinar literally a couple of nights ago. And August has been one of our best months, where people are performing at like 17%, 16%, 12%, 8%, 5%, like a combination of them. The amount of funding that we've accumulated over the last couple of months, August has been one of the biggest months. And last year, the same thing, because people reached out to me and said, Mark, should I trade in August? I'm not sure. And to me, that wasn't even on my radar. I was thinking, why is that even a thought process to you? Like, how is your system so limited that you need to take August off? Like, I don't get it. I just trade the same way. If one market is a little bit slower, I trade another market, because I don't see much advantage in doing that. Because, guys, you know what trading's like. Trading's difficult. You have to be sharp. So if you give yourself a reason to, or give yourself permission to say, I know I can chill now, like I can chill in December and I can chill that, it's a slippery slope. It takes you so much longer to get going again. It's just like, for example, imagine when you go away, you go on vacation, you go on holiday, and you're working, and you come back, and then you come back to a mountain of work, and you're not in rhythm, you're not in flow, and it almost becomes more stressful, and it takes you like another week or so to get back into the swing of it. That's a little bit like trading, but on a much higher level, because things are happening so much, so quickly. You need to now catch up with all of that. You're not in sync, you're not in rhythm, and then you don't tend to do well. So just food for thought. Don't let these myths that just because someone says it online, it has to be reflected in the data. Like, the data is there. Forget my opinion, forget anyone's opinion. Can't argue with the data. Like, if it's showing you there's opportunities, there's opportunities. So I don't think that belief serves anyone in any system. Maybe there is like a niche system where it does apply, but I'm just saying as an overall, I think it's a limited way of thinking and doesn't really help anyone. Another thing that's going to be really important for the success of more funding for us until the end of the year, and just overall people really understanding H4 mastery, and this could be actually quite a useful tip from my 16 years of experience, a useful tip that's really served me well. Whenever I've gone in a rut of, for whatever reason, not taking trades, hesitating, or things not going well, or out of rhythm, out of sync, as to what I was alluding to just then, what I would do is I would open a really small lot size on a trade, and I would take a position. I wouldn't just take any trade. No, I'm not being completely reckless, but sometimes you just being in rhythm and being in flow is arguably just as important. So whenever you find yourself in those positions, don't be afraid to just open almost like a feeler position, if you like, a starter position to your trading, and then that usually breaks the cycle. It's almost like I can't remember the name for it, but it's like whenever you've gone shopping before, you don't know what to buy, and then you buy one small item, and then it kicks off everything else, right? You could be looking around like the shopping mall for hours, and you just don't find anything. And what happens? You buy like a pair of socks, for example, and then you're like, right, I've bought something now. It sparks off that rhythm and that momentum. And all the days that you don't take a position, and I'm not a big fan of like forcing positions, but all the days, every day that goes on or week goes on that you've not placed a position, your criteria for that trade or that next trade is going to be higher and higher, which is just then a vicious loop of more perfectionism. And then when you do finally go, oh, I've not traded in ages, and you force a trade, it will then end up being a loss, and you're like back to square one. So whenever you find yourself in that position, do something that is controlled, which is open a smaller lot size, just smaller risk. Sometimes it's simple things like that that has really helped me in my trading career, and I've taught this to thousands of students over the years, and it seems to have served them well as well. So I wanted to share that with you. But full steam ahead now, cracking on with things. I'm going to spend the next couple of hours going back through a lot of these journals. We've got a lot of questions coming in, some feature topic ideas that I've got. I've got some live sessions on this Friday and next Friday as well. So yeah, we're gonna have a really, really big month, but really pleased with the launch. I appreciate all your feedback as well, guys. And I'm confident come the end of the year, the whole community will have this on lock. And from what we've already achieved with funding, I can only imagine where we'll be come the end of the year. So thank you for all of your support. If you joined us recently, massive welcome to Falcon, massive welcome to the community. And just to all of you traders out there, regardless of how you trade, your beliefs, how you're looking at the market, at the end of the day, we're all in the same boat, working towards consistency, working towards building a long-term career. It can be difficult. It can be difficult in every strategy. So patience is required, whether you trade options, whether you trade, just one pair, like whatever it is, it's difficult to be a trader. So I think you owe it to yourself to be doing absolutely everything to level up your mind, level up your technical skill, making sure you're surrounded by the right people, auditing your information, like really taking care of yourself. Like all of these things connect. When you think about trading as just this one thing, and I just need to learn the system and then I'll make money, that's what the industry wants you to believe. And that's the rabbit hole that you'll go down where you'll never make money. You need to look after everything. And at the end of the day, you're the one trading that account. So you have to look after you.